Manager, when I listen to one of his music called Pourquoi Guerre, Why War in Africa, I called him. I told him it's a good song. I'm a senior journalist. When I look at all of you here, some of you are my colleagues and some are younger colleagues. I'm happy. So my colleague is here, the artist is here today to only explain to you guys the music Pourquoi la guerre, and after which we are going to get questions from my colleagues that all of you are journalists. Flora, I hope I spoke the truth.
Voilà, Filstamfu décide de chanter pour l'unité. Il décide donc de remercier sa maman pourquoi la guerre. Et peut-être qu'il va nous expliquer pourquoi la guerre.
Artist, you decided to sing a music. Cameroon is going through a lot of problems, but you decided to focus on Africa. Pourquoi la guerre? Why war in Africa? Where did you get the inspiration to sing that song?
Okay, I want to thank everyone here. I'm so happy that you people, you have squeezed your time to be here today. I thank you all, and Happy New Year 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you. For 2016, I released Pourquoi la guerre, Why War in 2016 when I wrote the song, and I
Speak aloud.
I released
so
the song 2016 when even we have no conflict in Cameroon. But because of I've been around Africa, I'm also in Africa. The experience I got about
some of the countries you went to cite them.
I've been in Ethiopia, I've been in Mozambique, I've been in Congo, I've been in Cote d'Ivoire, I've been in many countries of Congo, South Sudan, just to have some see the experience. What is happening? Why are we fighting each other? So what I see that is happening the other side of the countries is the same thing that is happening here in Cameroon. So that's why I decided to come out with this song, Pourquoi la guerre, Why War. I'm asking a question, even to you, journalists, Cameroonians, and Africa at large, why are we fighting and why are we killing each other?
D'accord, après tu nous demandes d'être responsable. Après, on aurait eu un autre titre, Africa démocratique.
After the song called Africa Democracy, what are you looking for? What are you looking for that you have not had in Cameroon?
So when I released African democracy, because I was looking at the democracy we are practicing in Africa.
Okay.
That's where I came out with this song, African democracy. Are we practicing the right democracy? And first of all, what is democracy? Because some of us are here, we don't only speak English and French, we have our language. But if you can define democracy in your language, then you will know what I'm talking about. Because many of us cannot define democracy in their language. We can only, maybe in French and English, because that is the language we are used to. So when I come to my own language, where I come from the Donga Mountain Division, Misidi subdivision, Besa land, I cannot define
in the Northwest region.
In the Northwest region, I cannot define democracy. So I wanted Africa to look at the democracy. Are we doing democratically? Are we doing the right thing? That is why I came out with this song, Democracy for Africa.
Voilà, et aujourd'hui, donc, tu décides de nous présenter ton EP, Just for Who We Are.
Artists, today you call journalists today to present something good. MTN is even thinking of buying it. Why? Why?
I came out with justice for who we are. So I was trying to look at things in a different way.
Okay.
Because we're talking about justice. We're talking about human rights. We are talking about democracy. All these things, they are in the same house, but we have different roles. So what I'm looking at it is this. There are some crimes that are being committed in Africa by non-African, and these people cannot be justified. Maybe because they are from somewhere. Maybe because they believe they are the one that owning the world. That's why I came up with justice for who we are. Why are
what is the central message in justice for Africa? The
central message for justice for who we are is that we need justice for some heroes in Africa. For example, like Gaddafi, you can get people like Patrick Lumumba. There are many in Africa who their lives has been taken away just because they believe in something that some people does not believe in what they believe in. That's why I came out with justice for who we are. That we need justice for ourselves as an Africans.
Voilà, étant non pas au Cameroun, moi j'aime bien envie de savoir, tu vas mieux vendre ta musique. Puisqu'il n'est pas au Cameroun, est-ce qu'il va mieux vendre sa musique?
Yes, the question is, you are not in Cameroon, you just came and you soon be going. I want to modify the question that my colleague Florence is asking you. What is it that is not keeping you comfortable in Cameroon? You keep going out and you just came back and you'll be going back very soon. Why are you not comfortable in Cameroon?
I am comfortable in Cameroon.
Why do you keep going out?
I am comfortable in Cameroon because I didn't have a job in Cameroon, but outside I do my business. I have business outside, like a car rent, restaurant, which I'm comfortable with this business.
Okay.
And I'm here. I'm based in Cameroon because I have no nationality somewhere. So if you say I'm not comfortable in Cameroon because I'm doing business out of Cameroon, I will tell you it's wrong because my nationality is Cameroon and this is where I live. I have my family here, my children and my wife. Everybody is here. So I don't think I can be out for 4 months without coming back home. So this is my home. I love this country and I love Africa.
Voilà, on va donc vous donner la possibilité de poser à l'artiste des questions rapides, vraiment très très rapides.
Oui, et merci comme tu viens de dire Flora, puisque après on va prendre les questions dehors avec l'artiste, ou bien ici. Bon, on va prendre dehors, parce que je ne trouve pas l'endroit si très bon. On va poser les questions à l'artiste dehors, les questions de journalisme. Mais déjà, les confrères, posez vos questions déjà à l'artiste, pour que lui-même peut préparer son niveau intellectuel et qu'on se retrouve dehors. Merci les confrères. On a 3 questions. Dès que quelqu'un se lève, il se présente son nom et son média. On commence ici, merci.
Merci également. Good afternoon to you all. I'm William Michael from NCM Television. I have a problem with the career of the artist. I realized like in 2000 he actually bring out his first song, Let's Go Africa. It was in 2000, right? And the next song was actually 21 years later. Why that gap? It's a very big gap. 21 years later before you come out with another song. What are you doing during that period? That's the first question. The other one is to know how are you going to actually sell your song around Africa, because it's not only Cameroon that you sing about all the injustice in Africa. I want to know how are you going to cope with you selling out your music, and do you think that with your music Africa can do better?
Thank you. Deuxième question. Merci.
Alors, bonjour tout le monde, moi c'est Michel Bruno, ABK Radio.
Ok.
C'est vrai que le confrère a posé l'une de mes questions.
Presque des questions.
Non, pas les deux. Une,
Okay.
en tout cas. Alors, l'autre question que je m'en vais poser à l'artiste. Il y a le 6e titre, Taounyo, je suppose que c'est en langue maternelle. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? De quoi parle l'artiste dans cette chanson? Et le titre Sweet Moda, est-ce que c'est une reprise
de Sweet Moda. Merci,
de
Denis Gégal. Merci.
Voilà. Ou alors.
Dernière question. The last question. Evira, oui, merci.
Bonjour à tous. Moi, c'est Elvira et j'aimerais savoir avant toute chose, qu'est-ce qui vous inspire à faire de la musique avant de commencer à écrire vos chansons? Quel est le titre qui a déclenché cette envie-là?
Thank you. I think we start with him.
I will start with my brother from which channel?
LTM Television.
LTM, right?
Yeah.
From
LTM.
I don't know. Where you got, I released a song in 2000.
Where did you get that?
I
Because
released, maybe it's the mistake of the...
It's a mistake.
Right, I released
Yes.
my song in 2020. I released the song in 2020. I wrote it in 2016. I released the song officially in 2020.
It's a problem for me.
Okay.
So you are going, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, okay. Yeah. So, the second question was?
Your second question?
Was to know how you going to. It's not only Africa. It's not only Cameroon that
You're not focusing in Africa.
Yeah.
How do you think your music can make Cameroon and Africa have peace? Is
Yeah,
that?
that's it.
Yeah, really, my music, like Art of Africa,
Yeah.
I can say like West Africa, Ghana, the other country, Uganda, right to South Africa, Nigeria. You can find my music on NTV, Trust Africa, Trust Niger. You can see my music on many channels around. But in Cameroon, for the reasons of what was going on in Cameroon, I've not been so frequent in Cameroon.
Yeah.
I think my song since the 2020 I released the song officially 2020. I think people have got the message.
Okay.
I have got many calls. I was invited in Rwanda.
In
when,
Rwanda, Kenya.
When they were the official opening of the African passport.
Yeah.
I think the message went for some people who get it. I got many calls, even in this country. So I think the media in this country, this is the time, the opportunity I want to present to you this message that you can take it far to make the ears of Cameroonians listen, hear it, and even some other colleagues out of Cameroon.
We are all yours. Like what
It's
you're
okay.
doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
You are finished. Sir.
Alors je demandais qu'est-ce que ça signifie le titre Taounio.
Ta-
Taounio.
Taounio.
Okay.
Taounio
Thank
et
you.
est-ce que
What
c'est
is the
moderne?
significance
Yeah,
of
I
Taounio?
understand. Thank you. From which
Ce n'est que ça.
ABK Radio.
ABK
Et puis,
Radio.
Est-ce que
These
Suite
are,
Nouvelle
these are,
Technologie?
these are one of our cousin
Mr.
radio
Communication
stations.
Officer, please, can you let the artist answer the questions, please?
Yeah,
The
thank
press
you.
conference is for the artist, and you're here to moderate.
I don't want you guys to intimidate him. I don't want.
Now, thank you for your question. Taounio, because of where I come from, I released that song. I was thanking God. I was born like any of you. I like to go to school like you, maybe to be a journalist, a lawyer, and so any kind of profession. I didn't have that opportunity. I lost my dad when I was in class 6 primary school, and I went to class 7. The same year I lost my mom. So when I lost my mom, I became stranded. I started moving up and down. I meet people. I started singing this song, Taounio. So I was thanking God because each year I acquire something. Each year I have a step. So I was thanking God, Taounio. Thank you, God, for what you have done in my life. I think that is the title. Taounio is in my mother tongue.
Taounio means?
Troisième
Ok.
question.
Thank you.
Troisième question, Evira et One Home
Et
TV.
Suite Mother, est-ce que c'est une reprise ou
Sweet Mother.
He wants to find out whether
Sweet Mother
it is
also.
you are repeating.
Sweet Mother is another different song.
He's asking
It
whether
is
you're repeating
different
what the
between
artist did.
Taounio and Sweet Mother.
Okay.
Sweet Mother, that was when the day I was in the studio. I went very early. I wanted to work with some my colleagues who were not present, so they came late. So I was in the studio before them, and that day, that was when I lost my mom. I lost my mom on Sunday at around 12 o'clock, and I was in the studio. I was waiting for them, and I was stranded. I decided to come out with that song. I didn't write it just because I have the inspiration. I started singing about my mom. I released the song.
Okay.
Sweet Mother.
Evira,
Ok,
la question était?
je demandais qu'est-ce qui a inspiré l'artiste à devenir un musicien.
Artist, what made you to become an artist?
What made me become an artist?
People are lawyers,
Because
some are journalists.
I have a message, but I didn't know the way to let the message reach people like you. And I think through song, through being an artist, we will sit today as you are sitting in front of me to hear my message. I think that is what pushed me to be an artist, to start writing music and art to present to the public. Thank you.
La dame, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
permettez qu'elle pose-
La dame, on prend la dame. D'accord. Madame, oui, merci.
My name is Julienne Dambi. I'm from Namibia Prime Television. Now,
Communal,
your
yes.
music is really good. I love music that has some sort of consciousness.
And a message.
Now, in the wake of other genre like Afrobeats and the rest that the youth want to vibe to, and your music is very conscious, what are the strategies that you're using to ensure that the target population for your music is going to get it? Of course, one is this press conference you're having right now. So what are other strategies that you're going to use to ensure that this beautiful song and messages that you have to pass across in your music gets to the right people?
Thank you so much, Media Prime. I think what I'm doing to let this music reach many people, I can't do it alone without you. You also be the kind of people, the kind of helper that will work together to present it to other people. So I'm doing my best to make sure it reach the right person. But you will be the head to take it.
Of course, you equally have a language in the song Why War that I listened on YouTube. It's purely in French. And in the crisis
There's
in
an English
Cameroon,
version. There's an
it's,
English version.
both
Call
in-
again.
it's both in in the northwest and southwest region that is purely English speaking.
Okay, thank you. Before I wrote that song, this song was, I made it on January 2016. We have no crisis in the northwest. That Pourquoi la guerre is made in French, a bit of English, our local
And
English,
Lingala. And Lingala.
Lingala, Swahili. It is an African song. So this message was going to Africa. I think I was not giving the
We don't even
message
see
maybe to Cameroon or but I know Cameroon was one of those countries because we still have issue by then in the north. So this song was to Africa. And why I did this song so much in French, Lingala and Swahili and local English, because when I look very carefully, many countries at that time that they were in war, in these civil wars, and so were French countries. So I think this message will reach them very fast. If I could put in the language, they will get it.
C'est bon, les gars? Dernière question, hein? Après ça, Flora, après ça, on parle des interviews dehors. Ok?
Bonjour tout le monde, je suis Yossa, Aurélie de la radio.
Really?
Aurélie de la radio LFM. Oui, j'aimerais savoir quand vous étiez tout petit, quand vous étiez enfant, quel était votre rêve? L'avez-vous réalisé? Pourquoi? Si oui, comment? Sinon, pourquoi?
When you were a child, what were your dreams? And today, why choose music? And what made you to choose that choice?
I was still Kamara. I think I have been saying this time and again. When I was a child, I have the dream to also be a journalist, to be a lawyer. I didn't have the opportunity to sit in class the way you do. But I have this idea, this experience. I have something that I could think to give to people. But I pass it, the message through music. That's what pushed me. That's what bring me close to be an artist. Because this was the only way you can hear my message.
Bon? Bon? On la question de oui, Equinox. Oui.
From Equinox TV.
Yes.
She just asked a question and you did not quite answer.
No, she did not ask the question.
For
What is the
who
question?
we are.
Then,
What's the message? What's the real message inside? That's the first question.
of what?
Justice for who you are. What's
Okay.
the real message? Because I think it's an EP of
Yes.
accounts well, more than 11 titles.
Yes.
From which you have
Justice
Mind
for
War,
who we
Friends,
are and-
Humanity, La Responsibility, Love to Taunio, Africans in Pacific Church. I have all the titles. And the second question, how are you going to conquer the Cameroonian public? Because as you said, you're
Lots
from
of problems in
Cameroon,
Cameroon.
South Africa. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
you're always traveling. So how do you think you're going to conquer the Cameroonian public? Are you going to do a media tour? So what's next?
This is already a media talk.
Thank you. I think I've already started the fight.
Yes.
Moving gradually. From the press conference, we organize another maybe media tour and we have some concert. I'm moving to bring it to the doorsteps of all Cameroonians. When you talk about justice for who we are, I still come back. The meaning of that song, why I wrote that song. I was trying to bring awareness to some of our human rights in this country and Africa at large. That we need justice for the real people who we have forgotten about them. Sometimes human rights they bring cases that those cases does not benefit our population, but we leave something that it is ours and we are not touching it. So I quote example like they taking away the life of Muammar Gaddafi, taking away life like people like Patrick Lumumba, taking life like people like Onyobe. There are many in Cameroon and Africa at large that justice has never been given. But I can see there are some things that happen. Maybe they say someone was arrested because he was beaten by the population. As I was watching on one media, there was one guy who was beaten in North Sudan because they found him going out with, there were two same sex. So he was beaten.
Same sex.
And I see a group of media, a group of human rights who are trying to take this case. So we have cases, yeah, we have many things to look at it. Things that suit our culture. That's why I brought that song, Justice for Who We Are.
And are you not afraid to like maybe be taken off by the government because you know the government is aware of all of that, and there are so many artists who went on their sense that were oppressed. So are you not afraid that the government will come up to you and maybe put you to jail, threaten you to stop music? Because I mean, so many artists did what you do, and they were oppressed and they actually stopped. So are you not afraid of the government? I'm talking about Cameroon government.
Yeah, I don't think there is something there that is about Cameroon government.
Human
I'm talking
rights.
about Africa.
Human rights, for example.
Human rights is not only in Africa. And Africa does not have human rights. Cameroon does not have human rights. All human rights in Cameroon, they are answering questions somewhere that you know as a journalist. Even the Cameroon government, there are sometimes human rights are taking Cameroon government maybe to court or somehow or somewhere. So I don't see, there's not, I'm talking about Africa. And if we African, we come together and we start thinking that there are some important things we have. Not about the government. The government of Cameroon is 1 in 54 or 53. So we have a lot of things, a lot of problems in different countries. That's what I'm talking about here.
Dernière question, s'il vous plaît.
Ok, dernière, et puis on prend les interviews dehors et c'était bon.
Je constate que vous promulguez, vous chantez beaucoup pour l'Afrique, vous voulez libérer l'Afrique d'après ce que vous dites. Mais est-ce que vous pensez que continuer sur cette base va maintenir votre carrière d'artiste?
You have been singing in Africa and all your music are focused in Africa. Do you think that singing in Africa will make you maintain your career as an artist? Focusing on Africa, she's thinking that you should sing like Longue Cameroon, Sami Diko, things like that.
Okay, I think all artists, everybody have the focus and they have what he's looking for. And it is like a fight. When you engage the fight, you don't know who's going to win. For me, pushing to bring the message to the downstairs of Africans to understand it is a fight. I can win the fight as long as I cannot win the fight. But it is the fight I'm pushing. Fighting to make sure my message reach people and a message have an impact to people. I think your question has been answered.
Merci alors Flora. On va faire l'interview. On fait ce qu'on appelle le vidéo.
On fait ça ici.
Oui. On fait ça où?
On fait l'interview ici.
On fait ça où?
Ici.
Bon, apparemment,
Oui, non, il était question de monter sa chanson. Non, attendez. Avant de partir, avec Flora, on va les donner. Hein? On va lui donner le link. We'll give them the link to take to download the music.
Okay.
Pourquoi la guerre?
Okay.
Parce que nous sommes ici pour pourquoi la guerre d'abord.
Okay.
Oui. Where do we do the interview, man?
That way, I think.
On doit hier. Music, good background.
Okay, there's the music.
The background of really that's fine as pictures. You can do it here.
We can do it here.
Yes, can do it here.
Hein? Oui, on va vous envoyer. On devait normalement monter le vidéo de sa chanson. Oui. Mais on va vous envoyer. Vous envoyer. Oui, c'est ça. C'est ça. J'étais Flo.
Pourquoi
Because a journalist also want to snap it. Or something. No, they want to snap it. Where is it?